My name is Patrick Doyle. This is my video submission for the Queensryche Best Rant contest, it says here. So, Frequency Unknown. Just been released to mixed to bad reviews. It was given bad reviews just based solely on the 30-second snippets that were released to iTunes weeks prior to the official release, and it must have really got up Geoff Tate's crawl. Must have really stuck up in his crawl, because moments after these comments were made, you made a huge announcement saying you're going to remix the album based solely on some asshole's comments. Who cares what they have to say? Well, apparently you do, and apparently you agree with them because you remixed the album. But I'm not here to compare Queensryche to Queensryche. I thought I would compare Frequency Unknown to the 1992 Super Nintendo stinker Bulls versus Blazers in the NBA playoffs. This game came out in 1992. I do believe there was music under the name of Queensryche that existed during that year. Therefore, this comparison is completely valid and legit and relevant. So, Bulls versus Blazers, a game that came out in 1992 that there was little to no anticipation for. Feels rushed and has very horrible frame rate. All of which that can be said about Frequency Unknown. Frequency Unknown is riddled with guest stars plaguing the entire album, not unlike Bulls vs. Blazers, which has its fair share of famous guest appearances. You've got Michael Jordan, Clyde Drexler, you've got Charles Barkley, Scottie Pippen, John Stockton, James Worthy, Chris Mullin, Dennis Rodman, Reggie Miller, Scott Mullins, David Robinson, Joe Dumars, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, Scott. Hey! Get the fuck out of here! This is my private collection! Yes. This game contains all those All-Stars from 1992 that I just listed off from memory, but you wouldn't know it by looking at the game, because they all move similarly, they all run at the same frame rate, they all dunk the same. Bill Laimbeer dunks the same way as Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan hooks the same way as Bill Laimbeer in this game. So, what does this have to do with Frequency Unknown? The guest appearances are very bland. You can't really tell K.K. Dowling's guitar solo from Chris Poland's guitar solo. I couldn't even tell you which songs they appeared on. I failed to read the liner notes. They weren't available to me because of the means I chose to listen to the album. However, after listening to every track, I can honestly say that there were guitar solos. So basically the album, I mean, you know, the production's not great, whatever. I don't care. It's just generic and boring and bland, and totally rushed, as you admitted. It sounds rushed. It sounds forced. Not unlike Bulls versus Blazers, which also seems rushed and forced and bland and boring and generic. And the controls are just ass. Look, I'm trying to just pass the ball, and look, I'm shooting it. $10. It doesn't go in. Doesn't go in. This game is just ass. Look at the choppy frame rate. I don't even know who has the ball. Is that Michael Jordan? Is that Bill Cartwright? Who just scored? Nobody, because nobody scored. But look, I'm trying to run. This is as fast as I can go. And look, if a player comes in front of me, I can't go past them. Look at me try to pass the ball. And there I pass it. This game is just ass. And watch, look, the referee comes up. Oh, I did something wrong. I can't do that. You know, not unlike Geoff Tate, Michael Jordan has a bald head too, and he's made it to the All-Star game several times and has won a plethora of slam dunk contests. So there's still hope, Geoff. So as you can see, Bulls versus Blazers just wasn't worth the dough back in the day. And then we're talking $60. And if you go to the video store to rent this game, that's your entire weekend, just totally ruined. And you know, just imagine you're a kid, you come home from school on a Friday night, you get your homework done, then you go to the video store, you get to rent a game, and that's your weekend. You bring this game home, weekend fucking ruined. I hate this game. This game's a pile of ass! What were they thinking? Oh, God. I need a beer. Alright, Tater Tot. I got through your challenge, so I have a challenge for you now. I challenge you to get through a full game of Bulls versus Blazers on the Super Nintendo, and do it while turning down the game audio and blasting Frequency Unknown. And you have to get through a full game, and you have to tape it so that we know that you did it, and then upload it to YouTube. But first, introduce the video by saying, "Hi, I'm Geoff Tate, and this is my official Bulls vs. Blazers challenge video." And upon completing this challenge, you will have won an all expenses paid trip to Detroit, Michigan. Talk to your record company. I'm sure they'll spring for the entire thing. And I'll award you with a DVD copy of this review, which might be a little redundant, but you'll get that. I'll autograph it. I'll get you an autographed poster of myself, and afterwards we'll get drunk backstage. We'll get drunk off with some Insania, and that's my challenge to you.